Hello everyone and good morning all of you. This is Ashima Shukla, your current affairs and banking awareness faculty on Entri platform. And in this video, we'll be talking about all the major news events that have taken place in the past days. The discussion is going to involve all the important news events and we are going to talk about them in a form of highlights. For those who want to practice questions at the end of the session, out of the news events that we discussed today, I'll be sharing a few questions and we'll be discussing on them. That will give you an idea about how the questions can be framed from the news events that we will be talking about today. After that, you can also take a free live quiz. That live free quiz is going to be available on Entri app, for which the link is in the description section below. Now, starting on the discussion of news events, the first is the regulatory framework for microfinance loans. Now, Reserve Bank of India or RBI has released the framework for microfinance loans. Most important points from exam point of view are: a microfinance loan is defined as a collateral free loan given to a household having an annual household income up to 3 lakh rupees. RBI has removed the cap on the number of NBFC MFIs who can provide loans to microfinance borrowers. Instead, it has focused on borrowers' repayment capacity and accordingly capped the fixed obligation to income ratio or FOIR at 50%. So, the number of NBFCs who can provide loans to microfinance borrowers cap has been removed and will be followed on the fixed obligation to income ratio. Minimum requirement of microfinance loans for NBFC MFIs has been revised to 75% of the total assets. Maximum limit on microfinance loans for NBFCs and others have been revised to 25% of the total assets. Now, further, taking on a few one-liners, Central Reserve Police Force or CRPF celebrated its 83rd Rising Day with zeal and ceremonial fervour on 19th March 2022. 83rd Rising Day parade was organized at Maulana Azad Stadium in Jammu, and this was the first time that CRPF celebrated its Rising Day outside the national capital of Delhi. National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) designed the UPI Lite on-device wallet functionality for UPI user for small value transactions. Upper limit of UPI Lite payment transaction will be 200 rupees. Total limit of UPI Lite balance for an on-device wallet will be 2000 rupees at any point of time. Now, in phase 1, UPI Lite will process the transactions in near offline mode, that is debit offline and credit online. Later on, it is going to be completely offline, that is debit and credit both in offline format. RBI Innovation Hub and IIT Madras Incubation have signed MOU to work together in developing ecosystem necessary to support and scale fintech startups in India. RBIH is a wholly owned subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. Rajesh Bansalji is the CEO of Reserve Bank of India Innovation Hub. Select startup incubated at IITM Incubation Cell will be considered from time to time by RBIH for co-incubation and thereby receive the strategic and operational guidance, training and mentoring sessions. Asian Cricket Council has unanimously extended the tenure of its incumbent president Jai Shahji for a period of 1 year. Now, this decision was taken during the annual meeting of Asian Cricket Council. He is currently the secretary of BCCI since 2019 and he was appointed as the president of ACC in January 2021. And now another year is going to be of him as the term of president. Board of IT major Tata Consultancy Services or TCS has announced reappointment of Rajesh Gopinathan as the MD and CEO of the company for the next 5 years. NATO has organized the massive military drill Cold Response 2022 in Norway from March 14, 2022, and it will continue till April 1, 2022. The exercise is held in Norway every second year for NATO allies and its partners. Norwegian-led exercise is basically an opportunity to train together in cold weather, as the objective of NATO is also a military objective. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji inaugurated the centenary year celebrations of Matrabhumi through video conference recently. Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Textiles, Shri Piyush Goyal ji said that open network for digital commerce would democratize the e-commerce and it will bring a small business by granting them equal opportunity. Suzuki Motor of Japan is planning to invest 150 billion yen to produce electric vehicles and batteries in India with aim of starting operations from as soon as 2025. Now, they are going to also invest 10,440 crore rupees to build these electric car and battery factory. Hyundai and Tata Motors have also announced elaborate plans on the electrification of their products. Toyota has tied up with non-IC engine vehicle business, and this new plant will be set up near the existing Suzuki plant in Gujarat. Reserve Bank of India is anticipated to organize development over inflationary fears in April 2022 approach meet. Expected inflation is in the range of 5.2 to 5.4% in financial year 22. CPI inflation came in at an 8-month high of 6.1% year on year in February 2022. Core inflation is at 6.2% for the fifth consecutive month in February 2022. So CPI inflation remained elevated because of higher than expected vegetable prices, and inflation level will remain at elevated level because of the higher crude oil prices. So it came high because of vegetable prices and will remain because of crude oil prices. Expected inflation we have already seen, expected CPI inflation as well as core inflation. Cyclone Asani is estimated to move off the Andaman Island towards Myanmar and South Bangladesh coast. This has been projected by the Indian Meteorological Department. This cyclone will not make a landfall in the Andaman Islands. Income of 224 crore rupees was found by Income Tax Department in raid of the Unicorn Startup Group. Unicorn Startup Group is based in Pune and Thane in Maharashtra. Reliance Retail Ventures recently acquired 89% of the stake in Purple Panda Fashions, which is owned by Clovia. This will strengthen its portfolio in the innerwear segment, which is already acquired Zivami and Amante. It has recently entered into a joint venture with fashion designer Rahul Mishra and Anamika Khannaji, and Clovia was launched in the year 2013. Then 20th of March was celebrated as International Day of Happiness. There are multiple days, so International Day of Happiness, and this year the theme was Build Back Happier. UN French Language Day is observed on 20th of March, and it was established by UN Department of Public Information in 2010. World Day for Theatre for Children and Young People 2022 is also on 20th of March and is being celebrated since 2001. World Sparrow Day is on 20th of March, and this year the theme was Love Sparrows. World Frog Day is on 2022, and it is basically to raise awareness about these amphibians, and was started in 2009. Then we have World Oral Health Day, which is also on 20th of March, and this year the theme was Be Proud of Your Mouth. Now these were the news events, important highlights. Now we will be taking into consideration all the important questions that can be framed out of the news events we have discussed. First question is, a core inflation stood at what percentage for the fifth consecutive month in February 2022. So for the 5th consecutive month, the core inflation was at 6.2%. CPI inflation, consumer price index inflation, was at 6.1%, and the expected inflation for financial year 22 was in between of range 5.2 to 5.4%. Recently, which cyclone is moving to and off the Andaman Islands? So the name of the cyclone has been Cyclone Asani, and it has been projected by the Indian Meteorological Department, but will not make a landfall in Andaman Islands. Which car company has recently announced investment of 10,440 crores to build a new electric car? Now, this investment has been announced basically for new electric car, and battery factory is the investment. New electric car and battery factory, and that has been announced by Suzuki Motor, which was expected to happen till 2025. What was the total raid amount found by Income Tax Department from Unicorn Startup Group? Now, a raid was conducted by Income Tax Department, and they had found 224 crore rupees. And this Unicorn Startup Group was in Pune and Thane in Maharashtra. Reliance Retail Ventures acquired Clovia, that at 89% stake. In which year was Clovia launched? So they have invested 89% of stake in Purple Panda Fashions, and Clovia was launched in the year 2013. It's an innerwear brand. On which date is World Sparrow Day 2022 observed? So World Sparrow Day is observed on 20 March with a lot of other days that we had discussed, like Oral Health Day, World Oral Health Day, World Frog Day, World Day for Theatre for Children and Young People, and International Day of Happiness, and we have UN French Language Day as well. Minimum requirement of microfinance loans for NBFC MFIs has been revised to what percent of the total assets? So out of the total assets, the limit that has been set recently in the revised framework is or has been kept. Now, in the category of minimum, we have it at 75% of the total assets. As defined by RBI, microfinance loan is a collateral-free loan given to household having annual household income to what? Annual household income to 3 lakh rupees, up to 3 lakh rupees if it is given, then it is considered a microfinance loan. What is the upper limit of UPI Lite payment transaction? So UPI Lite transaction upper limit has been set at 200 rupees. Total limit of UPI Lite balance for an on-device wallet. For an on-device wallet, the total limit which has been set is 2,000 rupees at any point of time. With this, we'll be winding up the segments. Now, for more such questions, you can download our Entri app. There will be getting a lot of free material as well and quiz. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day ahead.